What's up, everybody? It's your boy Phil Shocker, the 96 Joke here with our Week 2 team builder here going against Arthur Fleck and his Santa Fe Superiors. I got it right. But this is going to be a very interesting matchup going against Arthur because his team is pretty offensively threatening. He has yet to play his Week 1 game, but he's going to probably most likely play it, I think, some point today. I don't know. Breaking the fourth wall. But yeah, so if you guys are excited, leave a like, haven't already, subscribe if you're new, join the First Shocker crew today because you'd be filling with the king of the crew. And this is kind of a scary matchup here because I think I've got potential matchup advantage, but he's got a couple of pieces that really kind of hinder and threaten a good amount of the stuff I have on my team. So yeah, if I yawn a lot, you guys already know. You already know I'm gonna be sleepy. But nonetheless, oh, sorry, I'm just trying to get myself into not like shape or anything, but just like into movement. Ugh. So, looking at Arthur's team, he's got Rotom Wash, Landorus T, Crobat, Lone Persian, Romaldo, Blaziken, Mega Gardevoir, Dragapult, which it was Irez I was thinking of that has that farm. Scizor, Celebi, and SQ. So, looking at this matchup, I don't think SQ really comes. There's not too much I see SQ being used for in this matchup, so I don't see really that coming. Um, Celebi, I don't really think is going to come. I don't think Celebi really offers too much else in this type of a match. Excuse me. Scizor has potential to show up in this game. I don't know if he really wants to bring it, but it definitely has potential this game to be brought because of how, Scizor is. Dragapult's definitely something that could be potentially brought, but again, with me having a Hail Core, a Hydreigon, which it was Choice Cards faster, um, Alolan Mach, Aegislash. I just think there's way too much coverage on my team that for typing wise as well that I think just checks Dragapult too much, but it can still be something if he's got the right coverage options versus my team. I think Mega Gardevoir is a really good chance to be brought as well because Mega Gardevoir can hit like a mad truck. It's definitely something I want to personally try for myself in Draft League, but it's definitely going to be one of those monsters you have to keep on the lookout there. But excuse me for the yawn again. But for the 6, I definitely think he has to bring Rotom Wash. If he does not bring Rotom Wash, then things like my Diggersby, things like Cinderins, and then things like potentially Manaphy could just really run amok on his team and just is going to allow so much of an annoyance on his side. I think Lando T needs to come. Lando T really shuts down any options for things like man really stops teams like Mach from doing much, stops Aegislash from doing much. Arguably can kind of weaken down Cinerance's power output a little bit. And Diggersby's Earthquake spamming, which could be something that was. I think Crobat's definitely going to be a Brock. Crobat is really, really good. It really stops a lot of things. It's a really good check to Mega Medi, which is really good. It's a good stop to Shaman. It's a good stop to things like potentially Diggersby. It's good stops to things like, or arguably, Alolan Muck to some standards. It's even a decently good stop to Aegislash with Nasty Bat sets. So it's definitely something I do expect him. Excuse me. To bring. He's either going to bring Nasty Blat, or he could bring a very he could relatively bring a defensive set with Roost Taunt and then Dual Stab, or Roost Taunt and then maybe Defog if he wants to make it more of a defensive variation. But I feel like if he wants to have anything be defensive, I feel like Rotom Wash. So I definitely could expect an offensive Crobat, which offensive Crobat can murder my team if I am not careful. So I think a Lone Persian is going to come. A Lone Persian can come just for the fact that I think a Lone Persian really stops things like it already stops things like Muck a little bit from doing too much. With nasty plot sets, it's really toughly good. Unless it expects me to do that. I definitely think he needs to bring it. Otherwise, Aegislash really kind of just runs amok on this team because Aegislash really kind of doesn't have any. Excuse me, stopping momentum on that with on his team. So I think he has to bring Aegislash. If he does not bring, Persian. If he doesn't bring Persian, Aegislash kind of, besides dealing with Lando and Blaziken, can really just rip a hole in this team. I actually think there's a good chance Armaldo comes. Armaldo's actually a bit of an annoyance. However, I don't know if Armaldo comes either assault vested or heavy duty boots. I do have a spiker. That's it. He doesn't really care about rocks, so I definitely think there's gonna be some options right there. So I don't know. I think Armaldo could potentially be choice banded. Well, I don't think it's gonna be. It could be in a sword stance. It could even be Rocky polish. Rock polish 3 attacks arguably because dual stab really hits my team really good, and then run earthquake for things like Aegis Slash and Marowak, and then everything else is pretty much neutralized to its dual stab. So definitely something to keep in mind right there for Armaldo. Excuse me. So definitely have to, and I definitely think Blaziken. I think Blaziken has a really solid matchup. He is not allowed speed boost Blaziken, even though speed boost Blaziken is allowed in the format it is in. But it has to be on Blaze, and I definitely think if he brings it, it has to be Choice Scarf. It's one of those things that does stop Medicham. It can stop things like Hydreigon. It stops things like Shaman. Stops arguably things like Cinderance. Kind of stops things like Diggersby. Stops my Hail Core, and stops my Aegis Slash. There's like so much that Blaziken does to my team that it can really shred team. But again, I really think it's forced to be Scarfed in order to do that much against our team. So definitely something I have to keep in mind. Plus, it needs to be careful on what it locks into because again, there could be so much things that could really hinder it. But yeah, let's go over the team that we are going to bring this week. And so we're going to bring a few new members this week. We're bringing Manaphy back. Manaphy, I really think could have done a lot of work last week if we had just maybe went with the set we should have originally went with. But I mean, I guess technically speaking, if I had sub, it would have been really good. But I don't know. I mean, the only thing we would have been able to do was just sit in front of Chansey, and then we could have calm minded up and then Ice Beam the Rillaboom and knock that thing out potentially. And it also would have depended if we kept the one thing, the Rindo Berry. If we kept the Rindo Berry +1 and he just like went for a sword, if he went for Sword Dance or something like that, we would have knocked him out. But I don't know. It just really depends. But this week, Manaphy's got dual setup this week with Acid Armor Coal Mine. If Rotom's not very offensive, it's just strictly defensive, like max HP and then max defense or max HP and with a little bit of speed up or 10 bit special attack. After one Calm Mind, it doesn't even do the most it does is roughly 30 something percent. And if I can get an acid armor off, all of his physically offensive mons can't break through me. If I get Calm Minds going, then pretty much I can win the game. Energy Ball plus Surf hits everything for super effective to neutral damage. There's nothing that really resists any of this. I almost wanted to run a acid armor Calm Mind or like an acid armor Calm Mind Rest, Rain Dance set. But with Rotom being such a problem, I really needed the coverage for Rotom. So we were running Modest Nature this week, 36 HP, 76 defense, 48 Spadef with a Modest Nature with a 148 special attack investment. Once I can start getting Calm Minds up, I'm pretty sure at +1 it's a damage roll. If it's a max defensive set, it's roughly a damage roll to whether we can kill Rotom. Once we hit the +1, Surf can pretty much be one hit KOing some stuff and 2 KOing most other things on his team. So I really think Manaphy can really put in a lot of work this week, but we have to position Manaphy correctly, and we have to get Manaphy in the right state of mind, especially if we lose our leftovers. Also making his debut is going to be Bugs, our Diggersby, holding that Life Orb with the Agility set here. Agility, Ice Punch, Earthquake, and Body Slam, 96 HP for that odd number of HP. Max Attack Adamant, 160 Speed. That 160 speed is going to be really good because that outspeeds Choice Scarf Landorus, which is really good. And even at -1, Landorus will still die to Ice Punch unless it's max HP, max defense. And if anything else, it's roughly a damage roll to whether we kill it or not. But it guaranteed kills. And Landorus is one of the things that stops me from Earthquake spamming, which is going to be annoying. It's also one of 3 that does that. It's also there for Crobat, which pretty much can knock it down. So it's super defensive, but I'm pretty sure it knocks it out. The only main thing that's going to really trouble Diggersby in this matchup, I feel like, is going to be that Rotom. So we really need Rotom to be weakened down. And then hopefully after we get an agility up, we are in range to kill it, especially if it's not leftovers. If it's not leftovers, it proves to be Rocky Helmet, it's a little problematic. But again, if we get that thing if we get that thing just above about 50 or a little under 50%, then Diggersby actually has a solid chance with the Life Orb to knock it out with Body Slam. So that's something to note right there. Another mon that would really appreciate the loss of Rotom is definitely our Cinderance this week. We're running Powerball, U-Turn, Sucker Punch, Blaze Kick with 36 HP, Max Attack, Adamant, 220 in speed. We are making sure we are faster than Mega Gardevoir, which is really good, which is the fastest thing besides Dragon Ball that we want to outspeed. With Pyro Ball, there's limited switchings. U-turns for great for pivoting. Sucker Punch is there in case there's a decent chance that the Dragon Bolt is right there. Blaze Kick is there just to save on the power base points for Pyro Ball if I don't want to run that. And it does help with Blaze too, even though this is a 10% chance to miss, but the same thing with Power Ball as well. But ultimately, I felt like Cinderace in this matchup was really good. He says very limited switch-ins to this thing. Like, his best switch-ins are still roughly max HP, max defense for KO Persian, which can still, I think, be 2 KO'd. There's, like, Rotom Wash, but then that's about it. Yes, I'll have fast things like Crobat and stuff, but if Crobat's not, max speed, or it's only speed given to outspeed, max speed Cinderace, then that's less. I mean, it's gonna still be a max offensive pressure, but again, unless it's that choice band, we should live any one hit from that thing, and we should essentially knock it out. I wanted to run Zed Headbutt for it, but I felt like Zed Headbutt was gonna open up just kind of some open holes and situations for stuff like that. So I felt like going main fire coverage and just having a pivoting option and then a priority option was more important. So. Up next, we're bringing Dakota Kai, our Mega Medicham. I think Mega Medicham actually has a really good matchup. Last week, we really kind of messed up not bringing Bullet Punch, because if we had brought Bullet Punch, we would have probably had won. I think we would have won that game 100% with Bullet Punch. We would have won 2-0 instead of losing 1-0. But it is what it is. I definitely think this set this time is going to be really better. We're running Bulk Up, Ice Punch, Drain Punch, and Psycho Cut. Psycho Cut's really, really good because if I have to 1v1 Rotom and it's Rocky Helmet, I can go for Psycho Cut. Don't have to worry about that unless I really need my HP recovery. That's the same thing with running like Drain Punch. I only want to click Drain Punch if I really want recovery. Other than that, I can just go for Psycho Cut, which can be non-contacted, and it really does work. But even though it counts as a physical move still, which is really good. We're running enough speed to outspeed Landers, so if Landers is just a defensive utility set, it doesn't really do much to us. And besides that, but we're running Bulk Up because, again, I really think the Bulk Up aspect is really good. We don't outspeed Mega Gardevoir, so if Mega Gardevoir does come, we do need to be very, very careful with Mega Gardevoir, so that's going to be something that we have to keep up. But Ice Punch, Bulk Up, Drain Punch, Psycho Cut, like I said, Ice Punch really kind of covers the things that really struggle against Medicham, which is his flying types. Other than that, Drain Punch plus Psycho Cut really kind of helps. And also, in case he does for some reason bring the Celebi, we do have Ice Punch for Celebi, even though it's going to be more defensive. And I really think Dakota Kai is going to be really, really good this matchup. It may just be Team Kick, but hey, I feel like the name still fits it. Up next, we're bringing the debut of Trigun here, our second Mon to bring this week that's new. And we're bringing a very, very interesting Trigun set this week. Now, a lot of people are. This is going to be a really questioning for a lot of people, but this helps bait in some things. It helps bait in Rotom, which is really important that I think I need to touch base on. And actually, after a calc I just saw, actually, do I even need Draco Meteor this matchup? Do I need Dragon Pulse? Actually, no. I almost run Flash Cannon. I forgot about that. I forgot about the options. And yeah, I don't really need Dragon Stab. I just really... Well, actually, hold on. Dragon Stab actually could be good for the Blaze Cannon. I'll look around that, but... we have Dragonite Nancy Plus, move to be determined, and then Dark Pulse, 56 HP, max special attack, 200 speed. This is actually very important because even if a Waldo is Assault Vested, if we get Dragon Dance up and we get a Nasty Plot up, if it's not Assault Vested, we take the hit and we can knock that thing out, which is really important to that there. Because if we don't knock it out, it can be very wrong. Actually, I believe I did see Dragon Pulse was better. So, yeah, we're going to run Dragon Pulse. Not Flash Cannon. But I didn't have that. But, I mean, I would have loved to have run 3 attacks Nasty Plot, but again, with the options of potential Scarfers, what makes also really high Dragon that much more important for this game is that we are running Dragon Dance to outspeed the Scarfers, get our Nasty Plot up, hopefully, and then be able to go for the Dragon Pulses. Now, it is going to be one of those things where Blaziken can't just comfortably switch in on this thing unless he knows we're Scarfed. I mean, we're going to try maybe to play it off that we're Scarfed, but in the ultimately, if he sees Nasty Plot or sees Dragon Dance, he knows for a fact we're not going to be Scarfed, so definitely something to keep going right there. We could potentially bluff that we could be Specs as well with this set because, it's like almost a standard Timid Spec set. But I think Hydreigon, if we can position Hydreigon correctly after our Dragon Dance and be able to get that Nasty Plot up, we can just go into the town. Like, if we can get that Nasty Plot up in front of that Persian, and then in comes Blaziken, that's where the situation. And I think I might change this to Choppleberry for that reason. I might. I'll have to do some research and calcing, But again, it's gonna be. I also might have to change this to Roselli Berry if I feel like that self-conscious about it. I will have to think of the berries, but I think honestly, Hydreigon's dual stab in this matchup really can just go in if we position it correctly. And last but not least, we're bringing Hyrule, our Aegislash this week. We were going to bring Aegislash last week with that swords. I think that special set, and we should have brought that special set because that special set would have won us the game. Okay, I wouldn't say it won us the game, but there was a decent chance we could have won that game. Actually, no, we would have won that game 100%. I'm so mad at myself. I mean, I wasn't mad about the muck fling though. I think we should have maybe dropped something else on the team. Maybe dropped Manaphy for that because again, he looked like he had nothing to really touch my Aegislash was I to knock off, which so mad, so mad. But nonetheless, we're gonna bring the set that we were gonna bring last week, but this time we're bringing Life Orb instead. 32 HP, 4 in defense, 1 special attack, 220 speed. The 220 speed with the timid nature lets me outspeed anything that scarfs. So basically, if I can chip down just a little bit on Blaziken and Landorus, I can knock them out with a Shadow Ball or a Flash on Shadow Ball, and I can go Flash Fan against Landorus. Rotom's a little bit of a problem, obviously, but ultimately, again, when we get into our Blade form, we just start nuking things. What's really good about having King Shield is that, for one, I can keep my Life Orb recovery from Life Orb damaging from going down for at least a turn, and plus I can go back into my Shield form in case I want to lower potential attack offensive sets and everything like that, and just, stall out any potential turns and waste any potential PP, which is not trying to PP stall or anything like that, but you know what I'm trying to say with that. I definitely think Aegislash is really, really good. Again, it only comes down to that Crobat's Nasty Bat. If Crobat's not Nasty Bat, I set up a Totemize in front of it, or I King Shield in front of it, one of the two, and just see if it is Nasty Bat or not. But if it's Nasty Bat, obviously Nasty Plots or a Heat Waves in my face, or a Dark Pulse in my face. Most likely, probably going to be Heat Wave. But ultimately, I think Aegislash, if we position that, there's going to be several models to this team, and yes, I know I bring them a mean about setup, and 5 of the 6 mons have it, okay? But it legitimately is really, really good, this matchup. Trigons is risky. Trigon is, I will admit, is the only one that's risky. Same thing with Ocean a little bit, but Diggersby's is standard for an Agility set, and this is kind of a standard Aegislash set almost as well. So don't hate me in the comments, and don't get on me for the whole this and that thing. But I generally think Aegislash could win. So best with the team, guys. Again, if we can position several of these mons in a really good, fantastic position, and weaken down the things that they struggle with, we can win this game right off the gate in a great position. Just kind of dominate a little bit. But yeah, so I'm really excited. Again, we're trying to have some fun this season, but we're also trying to win. We have a championship that we are defending that we need to reclaim for the second straight season in a row. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me, guys. If you like, haven't already, subscribe if you are new. Join the Phil Shocker crew today, because you'll be for the king of the grill. But until next time, guys, I'm Phil Shocker, the 96 Hedgehog. I will see you guys next time. Peace.